Call the August 8th meeting to order. Dennis, please call the roll.
Welcome all. Kanema, Linda.
Yes.
Is Linda here?
Yes, it is.
Dennis is here. Caulfield, Donna.
Present.
Deb is not present. Okay.
She is an excused absence this evening.
Okay. Illyville is inactive. Gaffney Lane, Betty.
Yes, here.
Dwayne.
Hello.
We have Hazel Grove, Mark.
Here.
And Chris.
Yep.
Great. Hillendale, Sarah. Josh.
I'm here.
McLaughlin, Denise.
Here.
Tim.
Here.
Park Place, we have Bob.
Here.
No Ryan or Tom, right? No.
Right.
We are without representation from Rivercrest, Tower Vista, Two Rivers, and we don't have Bill Carton and Carlton from South End.
No.
Okay.
Bill and Mark are still in the process of planning their next official neighborhood association meeting for this fall.
Okay,
And then I think at that point, hoping to get some CIC representatives.
and I have Hannah, and sitting in for Adam, we have Scott. Welcome. Okay,
I'd like to call Cecilia Rose, the Pioneer Community Center, for annual report on the community center.
I do somewhere around here. Where do you look? They always go missing. Yes, yeah, thanks. Thanks, Cecily. The side with the speaker that actually works and not the microphone. Microphone can be finicky, yeah. We've got all sorts of audio challenges in this room.
Okay, how does that sound? Okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, CIC, for welcoming me. I do believe that outreach to the neighborhoods is one of the most important options of outreach that we can provide for the important services that we provide at the Pioneer Community Center. With that being said, as Hannah mentioned, my name is Cecily Rose, and I have the honor and the privilege of being the manager of the Pioneer Community Center. In my title, it is Social Service and Community Center Manager. And what you'll learn a little about in my brief annual report is that I also manage the city rental and events. And that was moved to my division in this last fiscal year. We are a division that falls within the Parks and Recreation Department.
Okay.
There we go. The Oregon City Parks and Recreation Department's mission is to serve the community with the core values of being collaborative, engaged, respectful, transparent, and while being servant leaders. Our vision for the future is to be an inclusive, sustainable, and impactful agency. Established in 1979, the Pioneer Community Center is dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for adults and seniors. Our mission is to provide engaging recreational activities, essential nutritional programs, and social services that promote active, healthy, and independent living. We are located at 615 5th Street in Oregon City. This last fiscal year, the center saw a documented 45,977 visits, and we held over 2,724 programs. We serve adults aged 21 and over residing in or near Oregon City. We serve adults residing in West Linn, as supported through our intergovernmental agreement with the City of West Linn, and we serve seniors and people with disabilities residing in Clackamas County, as supported by our subrecipient agreement with Clackamas County Social Services. Most importantly, however, we serve the most vulnerable population in our community. For many of our clients, we provide the only meal or human contact that they will have each day. Our focus is to provide vital services and programs that enrich the lives of these recipients. When I speak about the vulnerable, some statistics that come from Census.gov and Meals on Wheels America are that in Oregon, over 154,000 seniors are threatened by or are currently experiencing hunger and food insecurity. 5,428 seniors reside in Oregon City. 10.2% of Oregon City residents do have a disability. Oregon alone has over 100,000 seniors living below the poverty line, and Oregon City has a poverty rate of 7.8% with a total of 2,877 individuals living in poverty. Seniors above age 85 are still the fastest growing demographic, and unfortunately, 1 in 6 seniors are indeed victims of financial exploitation. This is why the social services that we provide at the center are truly vital. Last year, the center was able to provide 47,753 total meals from the center for those that are no longer able to cook for themselves. We provide vital transportation to seniors and people with disabilities, and last year we provided 6,920 units of transportation. That number reflects a growth of over 1,000 units from the previous year. We provided 342.25 hours of case management. This time is directly provided for covering personalized based care to clients on the Meals on Wheels program. We provided 563 well-being and reassurance calls assisting vulnerable recipients in need. These are calls made specifically for when a Meals on Wheels recipient is not there to obtain their meal. Sometimes this is just a call, maybe we found out they were actually asleep, couldn't come to the door at a doctor's appointment. Oftentimes these calls do go in partnership with an actual call from the police to check on their well-being. We also provided 553 formal resource connections for seniors and individuals with disabilities. That can look like resources for additional health needs, nutrition needs, caregiver support, anything in those realms. The center also provides numerous additional social services. These include energy assistance or utility assistance, legal aid, the options of many support groups, tax aid, estate planning, foot care, pantry program, Medicare, veterans benefits, and long-term care presentations. In addition, we're very aware of the health benefits from recreation and fitness programming. These include fall prevention, things like that. These types of programs include line dancing, Zumba, Tai Chi, yoga, bingo, ukulele, watercolor, access to our fitness room, evidence-based fitness classes, holiday events, parties and activities, and day trips and outings. There are numerous additional health, education, and wellness programs that are offered seasonally or sporadically throughout the year as well. The Pioneer Community Center is funded financially through the collective generosity of many organizations and individuals. These individuals and organizations include the City of Oregon City, the City of West Lynn, Clackamas County Social Services, donations from participants or private donors and corporate donors. We do receive in-kind donations as well. Local business and civic groups help support us. Federal dollars in the way of the Older Americans Act, state Title 19, also known as Medicaid funding, local, state, and federal grant awards, and numerous fundraising events and efforts.
Sorry, Cecily.
That's okay.
Go treadmill.
We also value volunteers immensely. The Pioneer Community Center currently has 131 active and vetted volunteers that help us do the great work that we provide. Last year, volunteers provided a staggering 9,378 hours of service at the center. This is a direct cost savings to the center and to our taxpayers in the amount of $314,069. Currently, volunteers fill the roles of Meals on Wheels drivers, reception assistants, nutrition support, recreational support, event support, legal aid experts, activity leaders, guest speakers or presenters, and community garden workers. As I mentioned early on in the presentation, we are also the division that handles the rentals and events for the city. The Pioneer Center is a popular and affordable rental venue for residents of our city. The projected rental revenue for fiscal year 24-25 was $28,000, and we far surpassed that goal. Rental revenue collected for the fiscal year was $39,239. Last year, the 4th of July event was added as an event for the Parks and Recreation Department, and so my team and I had the wonderful opportunity of creating not an inaugural event, because we know that the city has had them in the past, but sort of a revived event. This event has since been added to the current biennium through commission process and approval. We just finished, of course, another wonderful event, and it continues into the future. Concerts in the Park, a long-standing city tradition with records tracing back to 1946, transitioned to management under the Pioneer Community Centers division in fiscal year 24-25 as well. The Centers team also aids in collaborative efforts of the city's annual volunteer appreciation event and has been tasked this year with creating a new fall season event called OC Fall Fest, which I'll be excited to report on next year. While it's impossible to highlight just a few achievements, I did want to select the ones that we are most proud of in this last year. One of those is professional growth. We had multiple team members complete the leadership cohort that was provided by the city. Our rental and events coordinator joined and participated in the DEI task force. All team members, and there are a total of 13 team members at the Pioneer Center, attended the professional growth training provided by the city, as well as the DEI training. I was able to complete and graduate from the ORPA, or the Oregon Recreation and Parks Association Leadership Academy, in partnership with Portland State University. 2 of our team members attended the Oregon Festivals and Events Conference, and 2 team members participated in suicide prevention courses, as well as the social service team participating in abuse reporting courses. Our nutrition team was able to complete trainings in food preparation and safety courses, and 2 team members completed grant writing trainings as well. We are proud of our financial stewardship at the center. The Pioneer Community Center ended its last fiscal year with a favorable 24.59% balance in the budget. Meals on Wheels donations and fundraisers raised $44,503, and the Pioneer Community Center donation and fundraisers raised $20,885. Grant writing and awards amounted to over $209,000, and we were able to, through those grant awards, provide new security and access system for the facility at the center, obtain a new van for center transportation, and provide inclement weather meals that were purchased for all of our Meals on Wheels clients. There was a $20,000 Meals on Wheels budget cut that came from social service, and that was backfilled as well, allowing for zero interruption to that service. Additional building and maintenance projects were successfully accomplished and included a new footbridge in the Peace Garden for safety reasons, new lighting in the basement, and the last slider door replacement of the multipurpose room, also for safety reasons, and the projected and budgeted kitchen equipment upgrades. Lastly, I wanted to highlight the achievement of program growth. Silver programming has seen significant growth in this past year. What I mean by that is those programs in partnership with People's Medicare. So that usually has a silver title in the name. Silver and Fit, Silver Sneakers, Active Renew, those types of programs. What I'm most excited about these programs is it was an inclusive way to allow seniors and people with disabilities who have this as a part of their insurance benefit access this recreational programming at no cost to them. This year, we added 109 registrations for silver programming. I think that's a true reflection of how many people were excited to obtain our programs, but weren't able to in the past. Evidence-based programming was also added to our schedule. Recreational events are often full with a wait list. Trips and outings are also often full with a wait list the moment we open them. New part-time on-call hires of a van driver and a fitness instructor allowed for growth in the areas of transportation and recreation. Our center continues to grow in creative ways with community needs and demands. We have begun offering outdoor programming as space has become so limited, and we just don't have enough space for the programs that people desire. Collaborations with the library also added a Books on Wheels program this last fiscal year, which we're very excited about. It's been very successful. And we've added an adult book chat in collaboration with them. The center saw 7,185 more visits this year than last fiscal year. And new and renewed center memberships totaled 251. And that is completely optional. Those are people who just want to support the center in that way. The great work at the center is accomplished through the efforts of an amazing team of staff. I always want to make sure that I give credit where credit is due. You can see many of the staff pictured here. And we invite you to get involved. As I already mentioned, I think that referring neighbors is one of the most important things to do. There's a lot of need in our community, and often you're the first one to hear about it. Other ways that you can support your local senior center are to join activities and programming, to volunteer at the center, or invite others to volunteer. To attend one of our great events, we have many community-wide events like our holiday and our spring bazaar, for instance, to partner or sponsor in any way, and of course to educate others. And I go back every time to refer others. If they have needs, we would love to be of service to them. Thank you so much for your time, and do you have any questions for me?
Denise?
So you said you have a new fitness instructor. Are they going to be helping with the weight room?
That has not been a desire or a request thus far, but I love hearing that. I think that tells me that there are people who do think there's a need for that. Currently, they are teaching a dance fitness class, and they're currently teaching a dance fitness class and an evidence-based class called Walk with Ease, and they're obtaining their certification in another evidence-based class, which is focused on fall prevention, called Better Bones and Balance. But I'd love to know more about the needs in the fitness room.
Tim?
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
The 7,185 visits from last year to this year,
Yes.
where were they? Were they coming in to particular events, or can you track it that closely? I'm just curious.
Yeah, we can track it that close. I would say that the numbers aren't staggering in any one way. I think that's a good reflection of just the overall growth of our programming. So we have programs, and I'll use line dancing as an example. It's a volunteer-led class. It is our largest attended program with about an average of 70 that come to that class. We're constantly talking about the space needs for that particular class, for instance, but we've seen growth in that program, but we've also seen growth in bingo. We've seen growth in those social service presentations that we are having as well. So I think it's a overall slow and steady growth that we're seeing.
That's the right way, for sure.
Yeah.
Second question I have is, do you offer CPR training?
We do not, however, our department does, and so that, our staff is trained and can be trained alongside the aquatics team, and so that is an option. We are open to anything. I always tell people, like, if we have the space and there is a community need or a request, we're open to that. That's truly what we are as a community center. So we've added courses and programming like safe driving classes because there was request for that. So the more requests we get, the more apt we are to do something like that.
Yeah, and that's something that the McLaughlin Neighborhood Association should be interested in co-oping with you, is maybe a CPR class that we can use the Pioneer facility and, get local folks down there for that. That'd be something to talk about.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
The last thing I had was, you mentioned transportation units. What is that? How do you define that?
Yeah, a unit is a one-way ride.
One-way ride.
Yes.
So I also noticed you have a new, I think it was a van from Sandy. Is that the new van you got, or?
It is not. So we do partner with our vehicles. We have one city bus of our own that we own, and then we have 3 that are Ride Connection collaboration. Ride Connection is a large nonprofit, a fleet that partners with numerous centers, other nonprofits, and they are very generous in the sense that if we have a vehicle down for a period of time, we can get a loaner bus. And so that way we don't have interruption to that vital program. So currently you're seeing a Sandy bus. It is on our lot. Our drivers are driving that for our patrons, but it's a loaner bus from Ride Connection.
That's good. I was
while one
impressed
is
that
in
you were
maintenance.
reaching out to Sandy, all the way to Sandy, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, that's my
Yeah,
question.
great questions. Thank you.
Bob?
I'm pretty impressed with what you've just presented us. It's quite a program. Have any of your grants been withdrawn recently?
Withdrawn? No. What I will say, and this came up actually in my department meeting today with my deputy director and director, that we are seeing Older Americans Act funding have some shifts and some changes. I don't have exacts for you. We did have a partnership with Easter Seals, for instance, and they are partially funded by Older Americans Act. And how that program works is it is an eligible senior citizen who is looking for work experience, is still part of the workforce or needs to be because of low income potentially. And so we did have an Easter Seals employee at our center that their program was no longer funded. So I think that there are effects on the center, but not direct financial effects.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are there any more questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
impressive.
for
Yeah.
letting me be here. Appreciate it.
Great work.
Downtown Oregon City Manager, Julian Allen.
There she
No,
is.
I'm right here.
Let me know if you have any issues sharing your screen.
Bum, bum, bum. Good. Can you guys see what I'm looking at?
Yes, we can.
Everybody can? Okay, great. I can't see you guys, so just bear with me on this one then. Hello, everybody. My name is Juliana Allen. I'm the Executive Director at the Downtown Oregon City Association, and thank you for having me here tonight. I'm going to give just a little bit of a background on who we are as an organization and just fill you in on what's been happening in the downtown district. So the Downtown Oregon City Association is a 501c3 nonprofit. We are a nationally registered Main Street organization. And our goal is community and commerce. Everything can be summed up, like everything that we do can be summed up in one of those two buckets, either community or commerce. And that is what we have viewed, just everything that we do in the district. And under the Main Street America is this national organization, and we're a little tiny organization in the Oregon City area, but under Main Street, it falls under 4 different pillars. So when we operate under 4 different areas. One of those is design. So that focuses a lot on the beautification of the district, trying to make things as aesthetically pleasing as possible to get people to come downtown. Economic vitality, that one we focus a lot on business development and supporting the downtown district businesses however we possibly can. Promotions, which is probably the most easily seen thing that we do. Those are our events. And we just had our first city celebration, so I'm looking forward to talking to you all about that. And then organization deals more with the back end of things, funding, donor, recruitment, volunteers, all of that. Sorry, my computer, there we go. Okay, so I have been at this job now for about 2 years. And this is a half joke because it is actually very true. Pretty much every day that I have been at this job, I have had 3 conversations, at least once a day. Courthouse, parking, and people experiencing houselessness. Those are the top 3 issues that have been facing our district for a very long time, and it continues to be the conversations that I have the vast majority of days. People want to know what's happening with the courthouse. It is a hole in the downtown district, and people are really interested to know what happens there. Parking, which I do want to say has gotten. It's a lot different now that the courthouse moved. The county courthouse moved out in May. It was early May, middle of May when they took their operations up the hill, and parking has drastically opened up down there. So that conversation still happens, but I will say it's a little bit less now that the courthouse has moved out. And we are a downtown district, and of course, we have people experiencing houselessness. That is just part of the deal when you're in a downtown area. But those are the top three issues that are facing our downtown district. Okay, and I did want to give a little bit of an update on the courthouse, the impact of the courthouse move to date. And please, please, please keep in mind, it has been gone for about 2 months, a little closer to 3 now. But so part of our job as the Downtown Oregon City Association is we manage the elevator staffing. And part of their job at the elevator is to track how many people are coming in every day. If you look at the numbers from May of 24 to May of 25, so courthouse moved in May. So what we were concerned that was going to happen was we were going to see a dramatic decrease in foot traffic in our downtown. And what we can tell from these numbers is that that is not what's happening right now. So from May of 24 to May of 25, we have seen an increase in the amount of people, and that holds true for June. I will get July's numbers very soon, but I'm very curious to see how this trend actually ends up shaking out. And, you know, I get asked the question of why is this? I think it's really too soon to tell. Courthouse only moved a couple of months ago. Exactly how it's all going to shake out, we really don't know. A couple of, you know, hypotheses is that there's more parking available, so perhaps people are more inclined to come downtown because that was a big deterrent from people coming into the district. Was, oh, there's nowhere to park. Oh, there's nowhere to park. I can't find parking. And because that doesn't really seem to be an issue anymore, that could possibly be why we're seeing more people actually walking in the district. So, you know, too soon to tell, but I don't hate those statistics. I'm going to say that. And also, I do want to give an update on the health of the businesses in the district. It varies greatly. It really depends on the business itself. We have a couple of businesses that are reporting since after the courthouse moved, oh my gosh, my business is doing great. It is up because now people can come and park. Others relied more heavily on juror traffic, traffic from the law offices that were down there, and they are struggling more. So people want a very clear answer on how are the businesses doing down there, and unfortunately, it just varies depending on the business. Okay, this is what I'm super excited to talk about. We had our first city celebration, must have been a week and a half ago-ish now. It was on July 26th, and this was, if you haven't been to the first city celebration, I cannot stress enough how fun of an event this is. This year we added in several different performance areas. So, and in the second photo there, we've got, of course, John, and I always say his name, John McLaughlin. He has corrected me on more than one occasion, and I'm still not going to get it right, and that is what it is. We had the end of the Oregon Trail has a wagon there that they did with the city, so that was really neat to see. We had different wellness classes that were performed throughout the day. There was Zumba and yoga and just a bunch of things like that. The Dirt Darlings performed. They were a fun line dancing group, and then we had some different cultural performances as well. So this was a really, it was a really fun community event, and you know, that is a lot of work. For people who have put on big community events before, you understand that it is a lot of work. But I'm really, really happy with how the event turned out. And on the next slide, I just have a few more photos I wanted to share with you guys. It was a lot of fun. You can see on the main stage, we had a full list of band performances. We had the Children's Theater came out and did a performance, a lot of different things in the kids area, in the wellness area. We had a cultural area, and then an entertainment area as well. So it was a really fun time. Okay, what's next in downtown Oregon City? We are working on a couple of grant projects right now. So another thing that I've heard a lot is it is too dark. It is too dark downtown at nighttime. We need lights. Yes, absolutely, we need lights down there. So we secured a community enhancement metro grant. I'm gonna say that was in June-ish. I don't exactly remember the date on it. To do uplights in the district. So it's a little bit hard to tell on these photos, but if you look over at the before photo, what I want your eye to really look at is the tree branch area. You can see how dark that is. And then go ahead and go look at the after photo, and what you see is the tree light, the tree branch area is illuminated. So our project proposes uplights in the tree wells. Again, it's a little bit tricky to tell on this because we have the lights on the buildings. And also it was the holiday time when we took these photos, so there are some other lights around too. But if you focus your eyes just on what's coming up from the tree, you can see what kind of impact this is going to make. So currently we are running a fundraiser for this because we got a grant from the city, and now we need to raise a little extra funds for that. So we would sincerely appreciate any donations for us to get lighting in the district. Lighting is crucial. It is like the number one thing that we need down there for safety, for accessibility. We need lights down there. And I'm really excited that we came up with a project that fulfills all those requirements. So what the project is two uplights in the tree well that are going to shine the light up. It is safe. A car could, don't do this, but a car could drive over it is what it is. They're embedded in it. There's actually uplights. They often do this in residential areas. But we were talking to the contractor with Oregon Outdoor Lighting, and he's like, why can't we do that? And I said, that is a great idea. So that is the project that we decided to go with, and we are really looking forward to getting this project off the ground. So again, I'm gonna make one more tiny plug, probably won't be tiny, one more plug for a donation for this. Just scan that QR code. It would be greatly appreciated to contribute to the health and vibrancy of our downtown. And one more project that we are working on is called Alleyway Illuminations. So this is an accessible art project. So it combines LED lighting and sound to make this really cool wave pattern in the alleyway. And the reason that we chose this location is this is directly across from where the courthouse is. And so our goal with this is to, how can we continue to make this area vibrant while whatever's happening with the courthouse is happening. So this is another really cool project that we are looking for help with funding. We're also working on grants for this one. But we would absolutely appreciate any donations for this as well. So this one I'm excited about because it's accessible art. It combines lighting, which we need because that also makes it much safer. Lighting deters, how do I want to say this? Unsavory activity. The more lights you have somewhere, the more it's going to deter things from happening that we don't necessarily want to see happen. And this one, it's fully customizable on the way that the lighting and the sound can move in waves. So pretty cool if you ask me. Okay, and that is my presentation. We are run by a board of directors who are all listed there. Myself and Ryan Brinkley are on staff, and I just want to thank you all for your partnership in shaping a thriving, vibrant downtown Oregon City. And I am more than happy to answer questions. I'm going to stop share so I can hopefully see everybody. Okay.
What dollar amount are you looking for your courthouse lights and your illumination lights? What dollar amount is your goal?
For the uplights, sorry, speaking of lights, my lighting's being awful right now. The whole project for the uplights is $78,000. Our grant was $50,000, so we need about $39,000 for that one. The alleyway illumination total is right around that same amount.
Okay.
So we're working with grants and community funding on that one as well. So they're both about $78,000 in total to do. Keeping in mind there's grants and other sources of funding as well.
Bob?
Does the county still have some buildings that they're in downtown, or did every building vacate down there?
The law library still is occupied. My understanding on that one is that there's technology servers in that one. That is what's in the core of downtown. The courthouses, they're all gone out of there.
One little thing I saw, it wasn't this for city celebration, but it was kind of amusing. A chiropractor had a booth down there, and they had a sign up mounted at their booth that said, "Crawl-ins welcome."
Clever. People get very clever with their marketing, and I thoroughly enjoy walking around and seeing the different businesses and just see what they come up with, because it's always it always impresses me, their creativity.
Tim?
Thank you, it's a good report. I had a question, I guess more a concern about the alleyway illumination. That particular picture looks a little bit modern for an art.
Sure.
Art is art, and it's hard to fit art into a historic district. We've seen it before many different times, and especially in our neighborhood, because we're a very historic neighborhood. I would just caution to try and get input on that type of a thing, because it seems like that might be just a little too modern looking for a historic downtown district that's on the register. That's my only concern.
Okay, thank you.
Denise?
So the uplighting for the trees looks like a really great idea, but I'm wondering, has anybody done any studying on how that will affect bird migration?
No. No, yeah, I'm not sure how to answer that question. It's a business district that needs lights in order to deter criminal activity and other things. So I have no idea how it would affect bird migration, to be honest with you. No.
Because the light's going to be going up instead of
Right.
down, so.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
And are there any public comments that are not with the enhancement grants coming up? Okay. We will move on to the enhancement grant applications request from the CIC. So we have the Clackamas County Arts Alliance? Or did I miss one?
Nope, you're right.
Okay.
Nope. We have public.
If you can, move towards the, thank you. I appreciate it.
So hi, folks. Button?
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. Hi, folks. I just want to say it's really great to be here and to see all the faces and voices of all of the different neighborhood associations and communities around Oregon City. I'm personally a Milwaukee resident. I know, not an Oregon City resident, so I'm less familiar with all the nooks and crannies, and it's really great to see them represented. So I'm Ariella Sophie, and you'll see on screen Diane. So I'm the Community Engagement and Public Programs Manager for the Clackamas Arts Alliance, and Diane is our Executive Director. I'm going to, is it okay if I pass out some handouts, just as examples?
Yeah.
Cool.
You should ask the chair.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, thank you. So we're one of several parties here I know who are asking for a letter of support for the Community Enhancement Grant. And I know that these are programs that are really designed to support all aspects of life in Oregon City in many different neighborhoods. We're coming here tonight because we, a broader umbrella, of course, support arts and culture throughout the whole of Clackamas County. But because we're operating throughout the whole of Oregon City, it's not like we're doing, you know, one road improvement or parks project in McLaughlin or in Kenema or wherever it might be. So the project we're hoping to get the grant funding for. So I and my work have been been organizing community incubator workshops that support basically emerging artists, emerging creators, people who are already really talented, but they don't necessarily know how to find a way in terms of supporting their own business. So we've been offering, beginning last June, so this is a program that's been going on for a year now, a series of workshops, a series of events as well. And the goal of these is to bring people together to learn from each other. So we're able to provide stipends for different instructors, and then they put together these amazing workshops. So I'm gonna pass some of these around.
I'd be happy to do that for you.
Okay, great, perfect. And thank you. We just had one, actually same day as First City Celebration. That was a social media workshop, which I know you might have feelings about social media, but the idea is that there's plenty of people who are very talented at whatever they're doing, whether it's jewelry making or textile crafts, but understanding how to use social media to promote their business. And they're all different, by the way. So they're not all the same handout. You'll have to, sorry, Hannah, you have to maybe pass them around a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So one of them is from our social media workshop. That's an example of a really high quality presentation and handout that was prepared by our presenter. And then we were also able to offer workshops. Some of them are targeting sort of more mature adults, and some of them are people who are really in this emerging stage. So I was able to put together, my background, by the way, is as an arts teacher. So I was able to think through the sense of, well, what are people who are maybe high school, maybe college age, they're not yet decided about their career, they're looking for a trajectory. They might have just an emerging sense of who they are, right? How can we inform them about future careers in the arts? So the goal is that these are targeting Oregon City residents to help them understand how to support the growing sort of economic vitality in creative businesses, and then also use their knowledge and know-how to like build out a lively culture of arts in Oregon City. We had an event at Corsilla Cellars in downtown that we just heard about. That was a sort of networking hub for artists. And if anyone has been to that space, you'll know that it is kind of tiny. It's like half the width of this room. And we had 42 people in there because they're so excited to connect, to get out of their studio space, to buzz, to get ideas from other musicians or other artists. And these are programs that really no one else is providing. We're a 501c3 organization, so we really rely on grant funding. And I also passed around some of our notebooks. Part of what this funding goes towards that we're hoping to get, that we got a couple of years ago, is to be able to provide people with these note-taking devices, to connect people with really great resources. There's another handout there that's from amazing intellectual property and creativity lawyer for artists, basically, educating people about their copyright rights. And he's a wealth of information. The two presenters are a wealth of information. Yeah, Diana, is there anything you'd like to add?
I do just want to emphasize too, the chair is always in charge of scheduling,
Oh, I'm
but
so
we
sorry.
have 3 minutes for public comments.
Yeah, no, I don't think I have anything to add. Just thank you for having us join you tonight and have Ariella and Sophie be able to present. And I know we're over time, so that's all I'm going to say is thank you.
Thank you for the time reminders. Should I pause for questions?
Do you have any, does anyone has any questions?
I do.
Josh?
How do you plan to make sure that the grant funding is limited to city residents or stays within the city boundaries?
Great question, and I'm so glad you asked that. I should have mentioned that earlier. So we've really intentionally been choosing to host these events in Oregon City. I mean, it is a central location for people throughout the county, but we're doing that in the hopes of specifically targeting Oregon City residents. So for all of our workshop series, we've been partnering with the Oregon City Library. It's been a really successful partnership, so we've been able to get a lot of people, both through our resources and theirs, to come. And we keep track. We put extra work into tracking people's like addresses because we've gotten feedback before that needs to make sure that it's Oregon City residents as opposed to, unincorporated, but people who are still using these services. So we're keeping track of our numbers. We do, of course, get people who are not Oregon City residents, but we're choosing to have the programs be here. So they've all been Oregon City Library, Clackamas Community College, which again is serving a broader community as well, but we're choosing to have our programs here specifically.
Betty?
Thank you. It's a great program. I appreciate you pulling it together. My question is, I have two. So how is staff paid? The instructors?
Yes, so
They get a stipend?
they get a stipend, exactly.
And so is the grant money, I guess I need to know exactly what you're looking for the grant money.
Great question. So the costs go towards a couple, we have it all listed on our grant, which, is that in the packet? No.
Not the application, no, yeah.
We did not receive any applications for any of the grants.
Got it. So the grant funding, we're targeting that towards a combination of stipend money for having, appropriate staff. Also to be able to provide, things that are like going to be useful handouts. People have loved getting those sketchbooks is the feedback we've gotten. But definitely towards that. Some level of rental space. When we first did the program, we rented space at the community college. We've since been able to lower the cost of that by partnering with the Oregon City Library. So it's offered as their program. So we're able to share costs with them, which has been able to make it more effective. I will say we really are committed to offering these for free for people, because the last thing someone wants to do when they maybe don't have any margin on their business is, spend maybe even $20 or $50 on a workshop that they don't know where that's going to go, which is part of why we want to have free rentals. So that, some level of marketing. Diane, is there anything else you can think of? A little bit of it is my programming time, I'd say as well.
So then my second question was, in your letter, you had mentioned economic opportunity for Oregon City. So how do you measure that? How do you know? Can you explain more about that? How will you accomplish that goal?
That is a great question. I'm sort of looking at the screen a little at Diane. Do you have anything to say on that?
No,
She's our
I'm happy-
executive
yeah, I'm
director, so
happy
she
to
measures
answer
more of
that.
that.
Yeah, so one of the things we look at one of the reasons we focused in Oregon City is that we know it is a hub. And so as we're bringing people in, we're encouraging them to come to Oregon City. When people come to the city, we know that they spend time there, whether they have lunch or they're buying gas or engaging in a different way. And so there's an economic driver there. There's also an economic driver within the artists and the makers and creators that we're working with, in that we're helping them grow their business. We're helping them think larger and adding to their personal income and their family income, which then also grows their income base. So we look at both of those types of things for this program.
I'd say there's a little bit of direct support as well, like when we have, so the workshop events, there's also our gathering events, which are those networking hubs. And so the one that we had in February here in Oregon City, that was direct funds to an Oregon City business. It's a new business in town. And we're very intentionally choosing to host those with small local businesses, both to bring awareness to those. And so we're not supporting a big chain. We want to support like people who are running a business.
Donna?
If you said this before and I missed it, please forgive me. What is because we didn't get a packet beforehand, what's the total amount of the grant that you're seeking?
Good question.
This grant cycle, we're going to be asking for $10,000 from the Metro Enhancement grant.
Thank you. And then in the letter that we got, talking about what you were doing and what you're asking, it talks about that this direction is supported by growing evidence than investing in local culture and creative activities, that sentence. What is the growing evidence? Do you have, stories sell? Do you have one or two stories of examples of people that you have helped, what their condition was before they came to you, what you did, and then the outcome?
That's a great question. One of my first thoughts when it comes to growing evidence about just the whole sector of arts and culture as a driver, Diane was present at the Clackamas Arts Alliance for this, but a year, 2 years ago perhaps, we were part of a very large study which is called the AEP 6 Arts and Economic Prosperity 6 study. And that goes into a lot of detail about basically the way that arts and cultural activities become a destination hub, and it's a big cultural sector in Clackamas County. So that's speaking very generally. I know you're asking for stories. So I'll think about, and let me speak to that a little bit. I'm thinking, it's a little difficult, I will say, because I will see someone sometimes at one of our workshops, and then I don't always see them until a couple months later. But I'm thinking of one of these people who came to our very first workshop, very lovely lady. She's a senior. She lives in Roseville, so outside of Oregon city limits, but she attended one of our workshops. She said that coming to these workshops, meeting other people there, helped her take herself more seriously as an artist. She's a photographer, and she said she came up with all of these new ideas. Some of the other people there were telling her about, this is my favorite print shop, so when I get a calendar, I print it here, and it's a good cost, and it's a local business. She also then said that she got inspired by one of the presenters to, it's a unique thing that I wasn't aware of. You can put an image for sale on like Getty Images, and she's actually had some of her photographs. I think you're paid, pennies basically. But the idea is that the more sort of stock images you're selling, so she's now got her images out there online in the world. I've seen her at multiple tabling events. So I think there's something to getting some specific pointers and then like a level of camaraderie that comes to be like, to say what she said. I'm starting to take myself seriously as an artist.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much.
And then Oregon City Together is next.
I have a question.
Oh, I didn't see your,
No, you didn't. This is a question that came after you asked that
okay,
question.
okay.
This is a point of order. Are these, each of these have to be voted on independently?
That's up to the Citizen Involvement Committee on how you want to proceed.
And if so, do we do it all at once?
I
or
thought we would do it all at once, have the presentations and then vote on them all at once. And then the letters of signing, do we sign one person or do we all sign them? Those are two questions I also have.
Okay.
So I thought we'd just have our presentations and then
Well, you're the
Can
boss.
we have the discussion after the presentations? Before we vote?
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Oregon City Together. And question, again, I probably is the first question, what dollar amount are you asking for?
Yeah, we are asking for
There we go. We are asking for $23,259 for our total budget. Great. Hello, Chairwoman Basinger and committee members. My name is Ann Haynes. I'm the Coalition Director for Oregon City Together, and I'm joined by two of our members, Robin Bergeron and Brian Shaw, somewhere back there. So thank you so much for this opportunity to tell you a little bit about Oregon City Together and our request for a letter of support related to our enhancement grant project. We are, I wanted to also say Michelle Stroh, who is our chairperson, really wanted to be here, but she's taking some much needed vacation, so she wanted to say hello. We are a community coalition formed in 2012, and we are focused on the health and safety of our youth in Oregon City. We are funded gratefully through grants from SAMHSA, Clackamas County, and Oregon City. Our focus is on primary prevention of substance use for youth. And what that means is that we are interested in increasing protective factors and reducing risk factors for youth. And we really focus directly on that so that we can help the community thrive. We're asking for your support for our application, which combines two successful efforts that we just completed in the past. Both were funded by Oregon City. One is the Youth Mental Health Awareness Campaign, and the other is the Fentanyl and Other Drugs Education Campaign. This project combines those two and engages students in designing and launching these campaigns because we know that youth are the best advocates for their own well-being. And they listen to each other more than they listen to adults, by the way. And healthy youth means a healthier and safer community today and in the future. We gratefully partner with the Oregon City School District and the Oregon City Police Department on these projects. They are vital resources to the success of our programs. Last year's projects, just for reference for you, posted excellent outcomes. Among those are a 5% increase among 11th graders reporting excellent mental health. And we know that having excellent mental health leads to positive outcomes, less substance use in youth. And then we also had a 16.6% increase in parents reporting that they talk to their kids about the dangers of fentanyl. So we respectfully ask you to consider endorsing our grant application. Your support would help affirm the value of these projects to all the communities in Oregon City, which will benefit by protecting young minds and futures, reducing crime and risky behavior, strengthening families, saving community resources, building connection and belonging, and breaking the cycles of trauma. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Do we have any questions? Betty?
I did. Thank you. This is a great program. I appreciate you guys putting this together. I wanted to know what the ages that you're working with. Are you down in the elementary schools yet?
We are. Part of this program is a Halloween poster contest with fifth graders. And we invite all of the fifth grade population to participate. It's obviously not required, but they do. And then we also have a tie-in with the business community. So they do a poster based on Halloween or fall and sort of a drugs or not using drugs facts. We kind of give them some prompts and ask them to do something, and they all get so creative, it's awesome. And so then what we do is we have the police department, other people help us judge these posters. And then we pick 15 of them, and then Casey at Buell's blows them up to huge size, and then we post them downtown in businesses downtown. So we do that project in the elementary school. The other ones are done in high school.
You don't do the middle or junior high?
We do. We also have other programs in middle school. This particular one is high school and fifth grade currently.
Okay. Have you guys always done drugs and mental health?
So we are a substance use prevention coalition, and that's the way the funding comes to us is because of that. But what we know is that to reduce risk factors, mental health is a huge piece of that. So that's why we decided a couple of years ago to start focusing on mental health, because also the numbers were pretty scary. About 45% of our 11th graders were saying that they were struggling with anxiety and mental health most days of the month. So it was a big deal.
So you're a staff of one?
We are a staff of two. And we have a lot of volunteers, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that you guys are like stretching yourself, so don't take on any other projects. I think drug and mental health will take all of your time. Right there. So don't add anything else.
Dwayne?
So, are you two the ones that started this program?
No.
No.
Who did? When did they do it? And do we know the stimulus for having started it?
2012, and Brian Shaw, you should probably be talking about this.
Come on up, Brian.
Yeah, 2012 is, I believe that there was an effort on the state level, and it was called Oregon Healthy, or Healthy Oregon, and I believe that there was some federal money that came through the state, and so some coalitions started forming. I was working in Memphis at the time in prevention, and I was actually with a brand new coalition there. So I think that the government started realizing that they needed to, put some money against these issues, and it's been very successful. The the smoking has gone down dramatically because there was this federal, regional, local effort against it. Of course, you know, the tobacco industry got smart and created vaping, so now now we're fighting that. As a matter of fact, this program last year, the high schoolers wanted to work on fentanyl and vaping, so that's what we did last year, which was great. But yeah, so it's been around for a while, and I think after the first year that they were formed, they applied for and received a drug-free communities grant, which has been around for a long time, and it's now through the CDC. So and it's just, you know, every year we've kind of had different kinds of funding, but
At least for now, through the CDC.
that's where that one is. We actually had that for a full 10 years. Now we don't have that anymore, but we do have some federal money through SAMHSA that we just got last year. That is also a little up in the air right now because of the new HHS budget, but we're hoping it continues, so, yep.
So it was originally in response to the smoking.
I think,
I can remember the program, the Healthy Communities, back in 2012. And I think it was more the opioids we were facing at that time as well. But now, of course, we got fentanyl. And so it's morphed just as the name of your organization.
It does, yeah. It just morphs into what the community needs, you know, what's going on.
Our own youth advisory committee has tackled that vaping on a
Yes.
local level. We're
Yes,
proud of
we've
those
talked
guys.
about that a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Yes. Just curious about that. Okay. What would you like to know about it?
How did it get so specific?
Well, based on, since these are programs we've done before, we combined the two programs. We had, the youth mental health program was through a youth opioid prevention grant through the city and the police department, which has now been used for something else, so it went away, for us anyway.
Sure.
And then we also have gotten the Enhancement grant for 2 years in a row, where we used that money for the fentanyl program, which we've made some really great strides there. So that's why last year we decided, and also fentanyl use is beginning to go down a little bit.
Nice.
Like you were talking about, things just kind of change. Heroin is kind of going back up. It's not that the problem's going away, it's just that supply and demand and pricing and all that happens. So what we want to do, because it's primary prevention, is get way before that. And people don't want to reach for, you know, a substance. So we just used the numbers in the program that we've done before and figured out what we could do with it this year. So that's where the number came from. Okay.
Anyone else? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Great work, ladies.
Willamette Falls Symphony Orchestra. And again, if you could get your dollar amount that you're asking for.
I think ours is 37,000.
Will you make sure that your microphone, it'll be red if it's on?
Oh, now it's on.
Here.
So what was the amount again? I'm sorry.
37,000.
Okay, I'm Carol Dumond. I live in Oregon City, and
I'm Mark Perlman. I live in West Lynn, but I can see Oregon City from my house.
That counts.
And I'm the music director and conductor for Willamette Falls Symphony. We've been in Oregon City since 1981, but we've grown a lot. And for the last over 20 years, we've been based at Oregon City United Methodist Church on South End Road. And we have 5 concerts in the season. I'm curious, how many people here knew that there was an orchestra in Oregon City? Well, that's good. But one of the things that we hear a lot is that, oh, I didn't know there was an orchestra. And if I could make anything else go on, I would just want enough of publicity so that everybody knows we're here. And it's primarily a volunteer orchestra, 50, 60, sometimes larger volunteers. We have a very small number of paid people. The principal players in the string sections are paid, and occasionally if we need an extra percussionist or an extra violin because somebody's sick, we'll hire a local freelancer. But we also have every other year a youth concerto competition where we get kids from 12 to 18 from all over the metro area. This past season we had 4 of them, and this basically for all of them was the first time they've ever played a solo with an orchestra, and this is something that they remember forever. We also do concerts in public schools. We take not the entire orchestra, but as many people as can go during the school day to Oregon City schools. We went in February. We basically put them on a bus. We go to one school, we do a show in the gym, move to the next school, do a show, and then 3 in a row on one day. We played for almost 1,000 elementary students in Oregon City on that little mini tour. And we plan to do that again this coming season. And we are starting a new thing, which is a workshop that helps train conductors, because conductors, you can wave your arms in the silence of your own home as much as you want, but you need to have an orchestra to actually work with, to learn how many mistakes you're making and how to fix them. And so all the things that we do with paying the few people that are paid, rent, insurance, renting music, which you wouldn't believe how much just for one piece. I mean, if we have to rent a symphony because it's less than 80 some years old, that can cost $700, $800, $900 just to rent that one piece for the time, 6 or 7 weeks that we use the music. And it's amazing. Everything, of course, everything's gone up in price. And we're focused on Oregon City. We've been in Oregon City for all these years, but audiences come from all over the metro area to hear us. So we bring people into Oregon City from outside, which we're proud of. And this environment, ever since the pandemic, fundraising for arts groups in particular has been more challenging than ever. And that's one of the reasons why we are seeking help from the city to keep us going. We want to go another 40 years. So I'm happy to answer questions. I didn't bring a handout, but if you type in Willamette Falls Symphony on YouTube, you can see our videos.
Are there any questions?
Yeah, when's the next show and where?
October 26th at Oregon City United Methodist Church.
But we are also, several of the musicians from Willamette Falls are participating in Porch Fest this Saturday. And we are going to be located at the upper outdoor deck of the Highland Stillhouse Pub on 99E, which is our official pub, I think.
Yeah, many nights after rehearsals, we have gone to the Stillhouse Pub for a beverage. They know us well. We have a reserved table.
Are there any questions? Thank you very much. I have attended and I've been lucky enough to take the cake.
Oh, yeah. Oh, congratulations.
We do have a giveaway. One of our board members is a fantastic baker and he makes a cake, and one audience member gets, I think they put something in the program.
Piece of paper in the program.
Yeah.
Blue slip in the program.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we have cookies at intermission. So.
Excellent cookies.
Nice. That's worth it right there.
And good music.
And good music.
And great
Good
music.
What day and time are you going to be at the Stillhouse? What times are you going to be at the Stillhouse?
What times are we?
What times are we doing Porch Fest? It's in the afternoon.
From noon to 6, there is from noon to 1, 1:30 to 2:30, 3 to 4, and 4:30 to 5:30. And I'm going to be singing from 1:30 to 2:30, and then I'm going to be playing viola from 4:30 to 5:30.
What day was it?
Saturday.
August 9th.
And he's.
And I'm the MC because I am an enormous ham, so they know who to call. And I left my house to come here, and my wife and another cellist in the orchestra were in our living room practicing their duet for Porch Fest, so.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And is there someone here for the Hannah Grace family? And again, we'll ask how much are you asking for your grant?
I believe it's $27,680. Our music program is a year-long program for kids going through different types of instability. They can be foster kids, kids from domestic violence, learning disabilities, autism spectrum, ADHD, death of a parent. And we use music as a therapeutic way of kind of building their life back up. And for many of these kids, what they've gone through in life, they kind of wear around like it's a shame upon them and there's something wrong with them. And in music, we can show them something very elementary, and though they've maybe shut down in life, don't talk, don't try at anything anymore because they don't want to fail, they're able to reproduce these simple things, and it begins to build, and all of a sudden they start realizing, I'm not dumb, I can learn, I can be good at something. And for some, they become really good musicians. Keyboard and guitar are the two instruments that we do. Every year we buy brand new instruments, and for all of the first year students, their parent or guardian fills out a checkout sheet that says that if they stay with the school year calendar, we give weekly lessons, that instrument is gifted to them. So for the majority of those kids, it's their kind of most prized thing and most expensive thing that they've ever had. We're going into our 5th year, and we have kids that have been in the program for 4 years. If they complete year 1, they can stay in the program. And with each of these kids, they're taking baby steps in a direction of self-esteem and all of a sudden being able to contribute in other areas also. Being better students, going out for sports, doing things that just wasn't in their paradigm before. And music and having just this consistent message from our volunteers and instructors of just building them up, loving on them, encouraging them, and they all go in the same direction and at different paces, but it's a very rewarding thing to be a part of, and for kids and some of the parents also that really feel like there's nobody to stand behind them. They're not part of a voting block, and there's not a political organization or religious organization that they represent. So they often feel like they've got a story that no one else can appreciate. But all of a sudden, when you have a whole bunch of people in the room that have come from different things, all of a sudden they don't feel so isolated. And so we see these little successes, just one life at a time, and it's a fun thing to be a part of. Questions?
Just for the record, would you mind introducing yourself as well?
My name is Jason Hood. Hannah Grace Family is the name of our nonprofit. We are right next to Jim Yo's Pizza on the side that opens up toward the Fred Meyer gas station. If you're too far to one side, you're at the liquor store. You're more familiar with that.
Oh, I've been there.
I've been there.
We're on the other side. And the music lessons is called Ascend Music.
Are there any questions? Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank everyone for presenting these. It just seems like an honor to be in these organizations that you're doing. You're providing a great enrichment for our community. Is there anything that anyone would like to say? Shall we take these one by one here? The Clackamas County Arts Alliance asking for $10,000. Oh, Donna?
Thank you. That the total enhancement grant package, if you will, that's going to be awarded is $78,000, correct? And so, case in point, is it 78,000 or is it different? And then, are there any other people that are asking, or is this only 4 going through this second round?
So what I can tell you is that the organizations who are here tonight are asking for the Citizen Involvement Committee's support. They, for their applications in order to be complete via the enhancement grant guidelines, either need to receive a letter of support from a neighborhood association, the Citizen Involvement Committee checks that mark for the application process, or a neighboring business, I believe.
Affected community or affected business.
Yes. So that's what these organizations are here tonight to do.
We're not making that hard decision.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's more than 78,000.
Betty?
So my question is, I'm here representing Gaffney Lane Neighborhood Association, and I know that they need this letter right away, but do I vote without talking to the people in the neighborhood, or, I mean, how do we handle
As a
that?
representative from the neighborhood, they have given you their support for making these decisions.
Okay.
Is to take this information back and said, we as a whole decided to do this, and perhaps enlighten them to some of these organizations they didn't know, that you have complete authority.
I just wanted to be clear on that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And see what you'd like to do.
So you're doing it as a part of CIC, not specifically on behalf of your neighborhood?
Okay, thank you.
So, Clackamas County Arts Alliance, $10,000.
I'd move to approve the, I'd move to, what do we want to move to? We want to move to
Sign the letter.
support,
Support.
send a letter of support. Thank you.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, pass. Oregon City Together, they're asking for $23,259.
I move to support the Oregon City Together with a letter of support.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Willamette Falls Symphony Orchestra asking for $37,000.
Support with Willamette Falls Symphony.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Will pass. Okay. Hannah Grace Family and HGF Ascend Music for $27,680. Are we in favor of sending a letter of support for that?
I move to support Hannah Grace family.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, letter of support will be sent to everyone. Now, the letter of support, do you want me to sign it? Do we all want to sign it?
You.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Okay,
Aye.
Madam Chair, I think he should represent us.
okay, I will sign the letters in.
I have copies here right now. I can always email signed copies over to the.
I have letters too.
Okay.
So just, would you like them as we leave, as you leave?
I think you put them in our packet.
I did.
Yeah.
But for them to be able to have a copy, they can either take one with them as they head out, or I'm always happy to be able to scan and send one over email. Okay, that sounds good.
We're speaking on behalf of
And for the Hannah Grace, you should also got one from Hillendale Tower Vista as well. If you haven't seen it yet, it should be in your email. Yep.
And the minutes, did everyone have time to look and review the minutes?
I move to approve.
All in
Second.
favor? Would you like your letters? Would you like your letters?
Come back anytime.
I'll be sure to email. I think the consensus was that PDF versions over email are better. Yeah,
Okay.
Well, then you can send them to Ann at the same time.
yeah. Make it easy.
So we have a motion that we've approved the minutes and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone disapprove? Minutes are approved. And more budget.
August staff report.
August staff report, okay.
Yeah, I am, since, all of the information is within the staff report, I'm gonna just focus on mentioning the things that have not been included in the staff report for, our meeting today. Volunteer recognition awards. Everyone should have received an invitation via email. This year, we are recognizing all of the volunteers, whether it's volunteers from the Pioneer Community Center to all of the members who serve on our boards and committees. We want to make sure that you're recognized and celebrated because we recognize that it's a lot of time commitment. And we appreciate everything that you do for your community and for your city. So October 4th, Saturday, October 4th, it's gonna be a little bit different if you've attended any of the volunteer recognition events in the past. This event is going to occur after the first Oregon City Fall Fest. So the Fall Fest is gonna take place from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. over outside of the Pioneer Community Center and Library. It's gonna be an outdoor event with hopefully some music, some market vendors, a variety of different activities. Then the Volunteer Appreciation or Recognition Awards will happen inside of the Pioneer Community Center from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Please RSVP. On the back of your invitation, there's some highlights. Last year, it was Tropical Paradise themed. This year, we're going for a fall festive theme, so show up in your plaids, your warm autumn colors, whatever you think is most festive, to be able to be celebrated. There's gonna be light snacks and beverages provided again. If you scan the QR code, it'll lead you to the city's webpage that has all the information on how to RSVP, and also importantly, how to nominate other volunteers. That's something that we really emphasized last year, and I want to emphasize again. Nobody knows volunteers better than our staff and the volunteers who serve alongside you. So if you know a specific volunteer who deserves some extra recognition, this year we have 4 different awards. Next Generation Award that goes towards individuals who are under the age of 18, either an organization or an individual. Our Outstanding Committee Member Award, so any members of the CIC would be eligible for that. Our Volunteer Organization of the Year, so Oregon City Parks Foundation was the recipient of that award last year. We have lots of friends organizations within the city of Oregon City as well. And then our last is our Distinguished Volunteer of the Year award. And again, all of that information is on the city's webpage. So just wanted to emphasize that to you. You should all have an official invitation. So hang it up on your fridges. I would love to be able to see you there. Important, I know it seems early to start thinking, especially for those of you who had just joined us on the Citizen Involvement Committee. The CIC is very unique because the neighborhood associations have power over who gets appointed to the Citizen Involvement Committee. But the terms and the schedule in which the CIC members serve on their terms is for 2 years. And it started in December of 2023 and has gone through December 2025. So everyone, whether you just joined the Citizen Involvement Committee or have been on the CIC for as long as I've been around, everyone's term will be concluding on December 31st, 2025. So what does that mean? I'm bringing this to your attention. I'll also be reaching out to the neighborhood association chairs. What would be necessary is for your neighborhood associations at your next meeting. That's why I'm bringing this up now, because I know a lot of you only meet on a quarter or 3 times within the month. Have a vote on who you want your CIC representatives to be. Have that recorded within your meeting minutes. I'm still working with our city recorder to figure out if the applicants who have applied within the last year need to resubmit their application, or if that's something that can just be automatically renewed. But I will definitely be communicating that forward, especially since we're not meeting in September. I wanted to make sure that this is on your mind.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah. Any questions about that? And if you don't have questions now, you can always reach out to me via email. Again, the CIC is so unique. Yeah, Denise.
So you need a copy of the minutes
Yes.
that has that recording? Okay.
Yes, and it's very helpful if there are multiple nominees, that it's distinguished. I know in the past there have been head counts done of if Tim and Denise were running for the CIC or nominated as CIC representatives, there was X number of votes for Tim and X number of votes for Denise if they were running against each other. Or if there was unanimous approval from the individuals. That's just documentation that the neighborhood associations have supported that decision, and then that makes it a more seamless process when the mayor looks to appoint the CIC members officially.
I think some of the neighborhoods have in their bylaws, the chair and vice chair are the CIC reps.
Yes, so that itself is also helpful if you provide me the bylaws, and then also the nomination in which your chair and your vice chair were selected. I know that that was done for Caulfield Neighborhood Association recently. So that...
You guys are fresh. Tell us how to do it.
I think if you have any questions specifically, reach out to me. We can figure out together. I'm always more than happy to problem solve with everybody.
So do you want the minutes or the ratified minutes?
It can be a draft version. It does not have to be approved because, again, sometimes that can take another 2 to 3 to 6 months to be able to make that happen. So it can be just a draft version. The other thing that I'm bringing this up now because I'm hoping to be able to have all CIC members appointed by the beginning of January. So making sure that you get those nominations in to me by December 31st would be awesome. Yes.
Do we have to do applications online again too?
That's what I am looking into. I'm seeing.
Have to do an application?
Yes, Mark, anyone who's appointed has to do an application. What I'm going to inquire about is whether they need to resubmit an application, especially if they applied within the last year. And it's really based off of our software on the back end, if
we
it's
did the
simple
last
enough.
time, so.
Yeah. But I will come to the October meeting prepared for an answer for that with you after working more with the city recorder staff.
Is the pay going up in 2025?
It is.
Just curious.
Doubling
Doubling.
health benefits.
Yeah, that's true.
So the neighborhood appoints and then the mayor appoints.
Yeah, the neighborhood nominates, and then the mayor appoints, yes. Any other questions? Again, feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to be able to problem solve. Again, the CIC is unique in the best way possible to be able to give that power to the neighborhood associations.
There are 6 neighborhood meetings in September. What date do you want the information to order the postcards?
Oh, we're gonna talk about that later.
Oh,
That's on the agenda don't worry.
That's on there.
right here.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about it now.
Because that's a whole
now, okay.
deep conversation we're gonna have to get into. The other thing that I do want to mention too is that I was notified today that Multnomah County is going to be doing a wireless emergency alert. So in some cases when there are emergencies or evacuation orders, you get an alert on your phone that notifies you. They're going to be testing that. And this is in Multnomah County, but since we're neighbors to Multnomah County and cell signals don't go on the boundaries of counties or cities, there might be the chance that you might get that notification. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to make sure that you all know that there is going to be an alert that goes out on August 14th at 2 p.m. Please know that it's a test. That will be indicated within the message as well. They are very much so urging individuals not to call 911 if it is not an emergency. Yes, Sarah. I know, it's a finicky thing.
Do you have any idea? There it is. Do you have any idea how this is set up? Like, I'm from Washington. I have a 206 area code number.
I think it might be based off of your location, but again, I don't know. I know that you can go on to Clackamas US/alerts. The Clackamas County Facebook is always also going to be having communications on their social media that goes out. Us at Oregon City Hall, we're also going to be sharing that once it gets closer to the date, just so that way residents and everyone is aware, making sure that there isn't an emergency, but it's really important to be able to have those tests go out to make sure that everything's running smoothly in the case of an emergency. Last thing that I will just mention is Oregon City Ivy League is going to be having another Ivy Poll on Saturday, September 20th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at Waterboard Park. Would love to be able to see you there. That's all I have for the staff report. If nobody has any questions about anything that was provided within the staff report within the packet. There's lots of resources in there.
So the CIC budget.
As you all know, we went through the lovely process of trying to allocate, or not trying, succeeding in allocating funds to each neighborhood association. I know that there was a vote and a decision that happened on that night, but I just wanted to make sure to go back with our financial director, look over the numbers. If you're able to take a look over the allocations of funds and give me an official approval, that would be amazing. Again, that does not mean that things cannot change moving forward. It just gives those solidified numbers to the neighborhood associations who may not have representatives on the CIC, so they know how much money is allocated within their neighborhood association.
The only thing that's wrong with the budget is it doesn't have any growth. So when Rivercrest comes on the line, Two Rivers, and the other people come on, what are we doing then? I mean, there is no growth money for this. I talked with a person from one of the neighborhoods over the weekend. I ran into them. I said, well, you know, we watched, but there's no money for us to come online.
Well, I mean, there is.
There
right?
is? Well, in the
we,
past.
we spent just shy of 60,000 in the last biennium, right?
Okay.
And so we've got $30,000 more, and yes, we have more active neighborhoods, and we have all these meetings going on and all that. We're still, especially if we, combine like these September meetings and all that kind of stuff, and we get that discount, of those postcard dollars and all that, there's gonna be some money there. And again, if we end at a level where, or if we get to a level where we're overspending, that's a good problem to have, right?
I just want to make sure that people out there know there's room for their neighborhoods to come in and join us.
Yep.
I just want everyone to know
Absolutely.
that. Okay?
With that said,
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
is there a motion?
For what?
Approve
I
the
just-
budget. I move to approve the budget as shown.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now, on to the very fun, I'm gonna bring up the working document for this.
Now.
We talked about, the neighborhood associations emphasized bundling postcards is something that they wanted to move forward with. I know a question that you brought up, Tim, last time is it possible for the postcards to be bundled, sent in to Eagle mailing service at the same time, but mailed out at different times for us to get that same rate? And the answer is no.
No.
Because part of the discount rate is associated with the postal cost savings with doing the larger bundling. With that said, for the month of July, the CIC did have a total savings of $1,001.33 based off of the tier 3 rate that was given to the neighborhood associations who bundled versus what the projected cost would have been if they did not bundle. So I think that's some exciting news. Something that I really want to make sure, if we're going to be successful in this, is that we plan appropriately and accordingly, and that all neighborhood associations who want to participate in the bundling and receive those savings benefits have the ability to do so, and that a clear deadline is communicated well in advance. So with that said,
So then if we decide we don't want to do it, then we stick with just sending you the information, or we're out?
it's not that, the idea in the budgeting process is that all of the requests that the neighborhood associations made based off of how many postcard mailers or general meetings that they have where they need to send out those mailers, the costs are associated with the projected. So not doing the bulk rating. If a neighborhood association is not able to send me a postcard within the timeline to do the bulk bundling, then your neighborhood association postcard will go out just the same.
Okay.
I'll reach out to you in that week before your postcard is due to make sure that you have ample time to be able to get that postcard to me. It's just you're not going to experience that cost savings.
Okay, got it. Bob?
Could you send that schedule there to me so I can pass it on to Linda?
Yes, this is included within the agenda packet. Part of tonight is July, we already did. There was the bundling that happened kind of non-planned, but kind of planned, which worked out in our favor. August, Elyville was the only neighborhood association who had a postcard that went out for the ice cream social. But I'm hoping by the end of tonight, we can solidify a September and October date. And then at our October meeting, we can solidify a November. Nobody has meetings in December, so maybe November and January.
And some of the neighborhoods have in their bylaws when they meet for their steering committee meeting. So that might make a difference as to where we go along, how we're going to get this done as well.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say that July savings there, that's like a little over 24%
Yeah,
savings.
it's a thing to do. It's just going to be, I mean, if you have to redo your neighborhood bylaws, sometimes that's a horrendous event.
Well, that doesn't have anything to do with when the mailing gets sent out.
Well, if you have to have your, steering meeting before to set your agenda.
Gotcha.
Okay, that was what.
I see what you're saying.
So the question I have is, our meetings are the first Thursday, right? So September is September 4th, and the date that you need, the deadline is the 22nd of August. That gives us very little time to get done and out to us, within a reasonable time for the people who can get the postcard. That could happen every other month, right? Because we're so close to the top. That's my concern, is that we won't have enough time to get it to the patrons in enough time that they have, 3 or 4 days at least to be able to plan on the meeting.
I will tell you, we can take a look based off of this schedule. I use the same deadline that I would for regular. So since you're the first neighborhood association to have a meeting in September, I'm going based off of 7 business days in advance. That's the deadline that I provide you. I send out, hey, in a week I need to have the postcards. Sometimes I get them sooner, sometimes I get them on the deadline. It's dependent on the capacity for your neighborhood association. So since McLaughlin is on the 4th and we have Labor Day,
Versus the 18th.
I always say, okay, Wednesday is the day that at the latest, the neighborhood association's postcard needs to be in resident mailboxes. Tuesday, Friday, wait, hold on, let's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will tell you that within our contract, I'm going off of 7 days. Within our contracts, it's 3 to 4 business days. I give that extra time because of the bulk rating for the postage. Part of that reduced pricing is that it might vary the time in which residents receive those postcards. But I hear your concerns.
Well, I mean, that's 7 days, that's barely enough time. And getting it the day before is, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think that's why I want to make sure to go over this meeting schedule. That way, each neighborhood association, if you want to be able to join in on a bulk mailing, also these are suggested dates for the postcard design deadline. If the CIC, if the neighborhood associations are like, well, if we can actually do this date instead, because I know some neighborhood associations really enjoy sending out their postcards a month in advance. That's up to the Citizen Involvement Committee and the needs of your neighborhood association.
So that brings up the next question, and that question is, if the 5, 6, 7 neighborhoods, you have to turn everything in at once to get this bulk rate.
Yeah.
So
Well,
if
you just need to have a total of 5,000 or more to get the bulk rate, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be everybody. So, not picking on you. Kenema could be out of it.
Right, could skip.
It wouldn't affect it.
So
right?
that's my question is if 4 of the 6 of us are on time and the other 2 aren't, they don't get included in the deal, or do you hold until you get them? Because then that will cause a problem for us.
So that's why I really want to work on having the neighborhood associations select which neighborhood associations want to be a part of this bulk order, what that date is, and then if I don't get a postcard design from a neighborhood association by that date, then they don't move forward in that bulk rate benefit.
We're definitely interested in doing that. I mean, it makes sense. I'm just wondering if maybe we can move the due date a few days back, so we don't, I mean, not because everybody else has got plenty of time. I'm not asking for anything special. I'm just trying to get it so we get at least a couple days in the mailbox before the meeting.
So the other thing, if you take a look at it, is like for October, for ours, you know, we're at the start of October, and then Park Place and Two Rivers are towards the end. So they would have to be okay with somebody getting their postcard 3 weeks in advance. Right?
That's the other question.
So maybe instead of, you know, necessarily by the month, we may need to, you know, look at it a little more sectionally or whatever, you know, these 2 or 3 weeks or whatever, you know, or everybody needs to determine, I guess, how far in advance are they willing to accept getting a mailing to get that reduced rate, right?
And what are the savings if we're on a tier 2? Is that still a savings?
So for Kenema and for Two Rivers, yes.
Oh, yeah.
There is savings from being able to go from the rate, because your populations are smaller, you have the highest rate. If you're able to bundle with any other neighborhood association, you'll experience savings.
Okay. But there is not necessarily a tier 2, just tier 3.
For what I have projected right now. Any of this can change. This is all potential. I can move September dates over to October. I can move October dates over to September, so that there is a deadline that's closer towards the beginning of October for October postcards, and the end of September for some of, or mid-September.
I know for me personally, oh, sorry, Bob.
Well, I think that in all reality, how much ahead of the meeting they get the notification is not going to make that much difference, because most of the people that come to the meetings are regulars. You know, you have the same people come in your meetings most of the time. If there is something special going on, like a land use issue, if the people see that on a postcard that they get 3 weeks in advance and are really interested enough, they're going to put it on their calendar anyway. So I don't think that putting the postcards out 2 or 3 weeks ahead of a meeting is going to make that much difference. That's my personal biased opinion.
I can tell you that Gaffney Lane just had the opposite experience. Postcards went out, of course we had to be the opposite, right? And postcards went out and there was like 5 new people there and they came in because of the postcards. So we had, I think we had like 25, 27 people there. Do you know our attendance for our last meeting?
I don't specifically.
Okay. So, and yes, most of them are all gonna be the regulars, but we got those extra 5 from the postcard.
And that's consistent with what we see too.
I think we all do is the postcards. Donna? Donna?
Yes, I'll concur that that's what we found too. It's postcards that bring people in. And so just Tim, to you and Denise, I love planning and being on top of things. So we thinking them 6 weeks in advance, I don't care. So we will be happy to partner with you at whatever date you want them. Because we've got the biggest amount, so that would help boost a tier, I think. You're the top of the month and we're the end of the month, but I love the idea of, I think the more notice they have, then the more likely it's gonna be it gets on the calendar.
Right, and that would, between us, wouldn't make the 5,000. So we'd have to
it won't.
include somebody else to get that down, right?
Well, just letting you know.
Sure.
Chris?
Maybe this is not the time to bring it up, maybe it is, but what other kinds of methods have you explored in the past?
We have used the postcards, we've done the A-frames, the frames, we have done putting them things on the internet and getting emails out to people.
Has there been anything explored about the water bills, about other kind of communication devices? Adam was talking about that after the meeting last week, and exploring some of these new things. I mean, I have to be able to say that the postcard was a far distant second place to walking the neighborhood.
Oh, yeah, that's the best.
So the issue basically is stop it. Siri. Anyway, seriously, we probably need to really have a time of rethinking the methodologies that are employed and the approaches that we're using. I just can't understand why $45,000 for a year is going to the USPS and the printer to be able to put out little 4x5 postcards. And I'm yeah, right. And so I know that I also we are going to be looking at it, Hazel Grove, is to look at the bylaws. The bylaws have it in there saying that we need to communicate by mail. I understand the sensitivities to that. Not everybody has email or even Wi-Fi or any access to the internet. I understand that. I mean, we are doing this. And, but with this kind of cost, it's an amazing thing to me. And I also wanted to be able to also second the idea of, because it was us that was the last time, not having anything for Rivercrest is a mistake. So anyway, I'm just looking at, I think we need to have a larger discussion about this. Maybe it's not at this time or this night. But the idea is that I'm very in favor about the joint mails. And Mark and I have already said, yes, we're going to really be supportive of this.
Donna?
perfect segue and timing for this. Last month when we balanced the budget, and what Caulfield did is first we took off the $250 that we had asked for signs. Then we took off one whole mailing. And because I had the great idea, let's have a business sponsor door hangers. We'll put their ad on the back. And so we did that. So I went out and I hung 497 door hangers we have more to do, but that's all we got. And I hung them out. And I had a few conversations, and I was so excited. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to plan for 50 people to come, right? Well, this is interesting. This is what actually happened, because we took a poll. How many of you are here because of the door hangers? None. Not one. Even the people that I talked to face, oh yeah, I'm going to come. They did not come. Then I asked them how many people came because of, there were 3 things. And then when I said, and how many came because of the postcard? Every hand in the book, every hand.
I know, it's sad, but that's where, as our neighborhoods, we've had these conversations before, and that's where people come from.
Yeah, go back and watch these meetings for the last 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years.
10
and
years.
Yeah, forever. And this is the exact conversation that goes on every time, and it all comes back to postcards.
Betty?
So we have had the utility bill advertise our neighborhood associations. We did that. It's in the trail news, so the city's doing what they can, and it's weird, but postcards seem to be the only draw, consistent draw, I should say. Although our younger generation is very techy. So if we can find a way to get the younger generation engaged, we gotta do it. Well, Facebook, I mean, you don't have to.
Facebook is not for the young people. It's not where they go.
But it's for our people.
It's
Well, I just gotta advocate for, for taking down names during every single meeting that you got. You gotta get your listservs going, and you gotta add those people's emails into one pot, and at least have the chair, if you don't have a secretary, putting out a 1-week notice of the upcoming meeting. It's so incredibly cheap, but also it's timely, right? So if you have an issue coming up, God forbid, like a crime issue, you can put that stuff on there. And it is the way of the future. I hate to say it, I mean, I've had this conversation with my own NA, 15 years ago over in Portland, but it really is advantageous to get and to continue to grow your listserv and keep it up to date. Just beat people up when they come in. They got to sign up, give us your email at least. People are reticent to give you their home address, but you can at least get their email and get that stuff out to them, get that information out in a timely manner. Just so much cheaper and timely. That's okay, I'm done.
The one thing that I'll emphasize is that some of the neighborhood associations have been sending me their sign-up sheets. I input that information. I think McLaughlin neighborhood, they just got a bump of, almost 200 emails to the email list that I send notifications out to. I always send out, whether you reach out to me and want specific information within your email, I send out a notification 1 week in advance of your neighborhood association meetings. So I'm a resource, use me.
Yes. Bob, did Gap?
I seem to remember a figure, including a notice in the utility billings was a cost of about $1,000.
Yep.
So that gets kind of spendy.
And I think we did that last year, if I believe.
Yeah, and it was joint for all of the monthly meetings for all of the neighborhood associations. So it's $1,000, but it's $1,000 split across however many meetings are had.
Personally, everything's electronic for me, right? So I don't even get that notice. I don't know how many people are electronic versus not, but I would have to assume that most people probably aren't getting a paper bill and aren't getting that.
But it also goes out.
I look at my utility bill and I gulp and I throw the rest of it away.
But if you get your utility bill within via email. It also is attached within your bill there as well.
You have to go wade through the city website to find it. Pain in the butt, so I just say, oh, okay, it's that much, fine.
You need to turn your mic on.
Oh.
She's done.
We're done.
So with all of this being said, how would the CIC, how would the neighborhood associations like to move forward with conducting bulk orders specifically for September and October?
What date did you want for October's meeting? Did I miss that?
It says,
For September, and again, these are suggested,
Okay.
based off of the meeting schedules. September deadline would be August 22nd, including McLaughlin, Hazel Grove, Gaffney Lane, Elyville, Caulfield, and Kenema. The October deadline would be on September 25th for Two Rivers, Tower Vista, Park Place, and Hillendale. And again, for those neighborhood associations who aren't present, don't have representatives, I will be sure to communicate those deadlines out via email. If they get them to me by that deadline, great. If they don't, then unfortunately that can potentially put the risk for not all of the neighborhood associations from being able to benefit from that bulk rate.
Tim?
Well, so to answer your question, if it looks like September, Caulfield's the furthest out and you're okay with, doing it, it seems to me if we could move that August 22nd date in a little more.
Okay, what?
Just to assure that we get it there before the day before, because of the holiday, we fully support that.
Would you like to propose a date? Would you rather have the 18th, the 20th?
20th.
20th?
Would be fine, sure. I mean, if it's okay with everybody else.
Yeah.
We don't even have our steering meeting yet, so, we'll see. I mean, we're small potatoes, but, yeah.
The thing that I can emphasize, Linda, is that, well, if you don't get it in by, yeah,
that's what we.
because I was gonna suggest that, are there any other neighborhood associations aside from Kenema? Caulfield, Elyville's not here, today. Gaffney Lane, Hazel Grove, that, are not comfortable with the August 20th deadline?
So the August 20th deadline is to get the information in. When does it mail?
It would be in residents' mailboxes. Again, this is like I can't always give exact dates because it's dependent. If it's mailed on August 20th, I would anticipate that it arrives in residents' mailbox by Friday, August 29th.
Okay, so you're just talking about, this is the projected date up there, the 20th of August is getting the information to you.
Yes.
That's all, thank you.
Yeah, and if it's helpful in the future too, I can do the postcard design deadline and then the anticipated in residents' mailbox. Which is
Tim?
Oh, sorry, I didn't take it down.
I was gonna say if, if we needed to split that up a little more, I mean, I probably wouldn't want a postcard to appear more than 2 weeks in advance. Right? So, we could, if Caulfield needed to go later.
That's what I was looking at, us in Caulfield.
We could probably do that because if there's 9,200 addresses mailing out for then.
We get a discount.
Yeah, we'll go.
I guess we ended.
You guys
We went past our
makes more
time.
sense.
Have to go home.
Yeah, I think Kenema would probably go later as well.
Yeah, so I was gonna say if we can do with a couple weeks.
So what date would be a later date then?
Recording in progress.
Round two.
Round
Because we're over time.
So that was gonna be the
So-
20th.
So
Before the
I can tell you,
7th,
it's
the
easier,
Caulfield.
I think if we look at the schedule
2
as
to
a
3
whole.
weeks.
Yeah, okay. If
Sorry.
Caulfield went with us, would that be enough for the rest of the group?
I
in an
think
earlier
you are the
batch?
one combination because of Tower Vista
We have 3,000.
and,
We've
yeah.
got plenty in there, 3,500 about or something like that.
Yeah, we have about 3,000 between the two.
Yeah.
I don't have my calendar.
And
Yeah.
And then Caulfield's big too, so.
Yeah,
should
the population would be 5,528.
Okay.
So if Hillendale, Tower Vista, and Caulfield combined,
And that would give the later time a better shot, and then the earlier time could maybe be more appropriately dispersed.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
So
I don't-
again, we don't have to have only one deadline, we can have multiple.
Sure.
So what would be a second deadline then?
For,
For,
but
later mailing out time for,
So let me ask this, how far in advance do you need postcards to your neighborhood?
I'm okay with people getting it because I just think that people are going to plan. So, I mean, I really was okay with 3 weeks out or
No,
even
and
4.
that's fine, I'm just saying, like, if we move
If we
some stuff
change?
around, how far in advance would you want a postcard delivered before your meeting?
I'll follow you guys. I really don't care. I really don't care. Because I think the people that want to come are going to come regardless. And then I think when we catch attention by who our guests are, the people that are like, oh, I'm drawn to that, they're going to put it on their calendar.
Sure.
do you want me to go to September schedule? Would that be helpful?
would we do it on, maybe on the 10th? Because if we're doing it on the 20th, then the 27th,
Oh, you're gonna go before the 10th for, if
The third?
you're joining in.
Yeah.
well, yeah, because with the first, second makes sense. I mean, we're not huge, we're not gonna sway the one way or the other, but I think.
Well, and
we'd
that's
rather
the
go with
question
the
too
lower
is-
thing to save money, yeah.
Which neighborhood associations are joining which bundling? Because if it's Caulfield, Hillendale, and
Tower Vista.
Tower Vista, then that's fine, but then you have to be careful about what, I mean, Kanema, you are small and mighty, so your numbers don't make a significant impact, but Hazel Grove's would. You want me to go back to the,
No, I'm just trying to play with these numbers in my head.
Donna?
Hannah, can you repeat who went in July, who bundled? Because obviously that
Yes.
worked.
Caulfield, Gaffney Lane, McLaughlin, Two Rivers. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Can you email this out after you've done all your updates?
I can. The thing that I really would like to walk away from is a deadline. Because if I don't have a deadline walking away from here, it's really hard to be able to, I want everyone, since there's participation from all the varying neighborhood associations, this is the best time that I can get consensus from everyone.
Sure.
So I would feel, especially for September and October, having those deadlines would be really helpful for me. That way I can have clear communication moving forward.
Well, so we have August, right, for September?
Yeah, August is done.
Okay, so September.
Well, in September for McLaughlin and Hazel Grove, are you comfortable with that deadline? On August 20th? Gaffney Lane, are you comfortable with that deadline?
Yes.
The 20th.
Elyville is not present. That, if they moved over, I think that there would be a risk of, let's see. What are they? 19.
27th?
I got,
If Elyville moved over, then there would not be the bundled rate for
That's a chance we could possibly.
the rest of the neighborhood associations.
Our meeting's on the 20th. We can't possibly get those.
Kanema could, but Elyville could not. And again, there is a risk too. There is a risk because there isn't full participation from all of the neighborhood associations.
Be fine.
That, let's say that I get all of the postcards except for Elyville. And then if Elyville doesn't get their postcard to me by this deadline, then all of the neighborhood associations aren't able to benefit from that bundle. From that point on, I will make sure to communicate very clearly with everybody about the projected cost of what the postcard's gonna be, but it's all,
Well, we'll still get a discount. It just won't be the 46 cents. It'll be 60 cents.
yes, but you already get that 60-cent
Oh, okay.
rate because your population is within, you're over 1,000.
So,
Yeah.
So we were just, Linda and I were just talking, and if you took Kenema over to that other column and then moved
Wait, hold on.
Hillendale, Tower Vista over,
Okay, let's see.
then you get,
I need to remove
you'd have enough.
Kenema.
We need to teach you to do a countive.
Just visually for me, I'm always. Kenema, Caulfield,
Yeah, so they take-
Hillendale.
Yeah, so they take Hillendale and Tower Vista and move them October into, you have to do a copy. Yeah, there you go.
Before I do that. Yeah. Yeah, because Kenema, I'm just like, there's not that much of a difference, but it's because Kenema is so small.
Well, we'll just have to build some condos.
And then we were thinking of a September 5th
Deadline.
date. And then
So that would-
that would basically put the mailings arriving somewhere like 12th, 15th.
Okay.
I know, it's a little early, but
Yeah, why not?
like I said, I'm just playing with,
Yeah.
trying to play with some
When did we
numbers
do
and see
the
how
fifth?
to make it a little bit.
Well, we can try,
Yeah.
announcing it early and see how it goes. And if it's not getting the people there, then maybe we have to
Yeah.
rethink a little bit.
Yeah.
But then now, of course, that takes, Park Place and Tower Vista and gives them a smaller deal, so we have to move some over from.
One shift.
Exactly, that's what it is, like,
It is.
I see exactly what those ones.
Tower Vista and. Yes, because South End has not selected their date at this point in time.
So is Elyville active?
Elyville is active, yes.
Okay. Oh, because I thought.
They just don't.
They're on hiatus. Their next meeting is September 9th. And they will be selecting their new chair. They just don't have an active chair right now.
Got it.
Because they haven't had a general meeting to be able to go through that process. I will say, so obviously Park Place isn't benefiting from the bulk rate discount with this setup, but Two Rivers is benefiting from, receiving a discount from the highest rate to the second tier.
So the whole thing with this is that you gotta keep moving everything back and around and all that, because if McLaughlin and Elyville were able to move up also, then that fills it and still leaves November filled, so.
And from my understanding, Elyville will be having a meeting in November, because they have projected land use presentation.
Okay, for Daphne Lane's September 9th meeting, we have to have the information to you on August 20th, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Was McLaughlin?
Yeah, on your first September column,
On my first?
your first September column that you have there,
Yes.
I think you mean to put August 29th at the bottom.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
And then if the mailing is on September 25th,
And so, sorry, go back one more.
yeah,
So earliest is the 20th for Park Place.
Well, yeah, I mean, if September 25th, mailing in October, for our November meeting, our November meeting's November 6th, that's a month ahead of time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna
I mean,
work.
that's much too far.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can push that.
And again, I think the goal here is to be able to try and bundle as much as possible.
Yeah.
And for me especially, I'm wanting to make sure that there's as much communication as possible with the neighborhood associations. And I can emphasize deadlines as far in advance, not only to the members who are here present on the CIC, but to the neighborhood associations, individually, those secretaries and chairs who are in charge of getting me the agendas, and creating those postcards.
Okay, that would put.
I think that's
our-
October 5th.
Is when it would arrive.
Yeah. No, wait a minute, sorry. Submit October 5th.
This one?
Yeah. Submit October 5th is what I think I was looking at.
Yeah, that would make, well, let's look at the calendar. The first meeting would be Park Place. So, the 8th is, so it happens on a Monday, Friday at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 8th is when I would,
Trying to give them at least a week, though.
I will let you know. It's just dependent on, yeah. Do you want to do the 6th?
So, yeah, so I'd say that, yeah, so submit on the 6th, and
Okay.
then estimated delivery would be October 14th, or by October 14th.
And then we should have an idea how this is working.
Yeah, and we don't need to plan for November because,
And again, I'm just throwing this as just playing with numbers.
Yeah.
So it does not mean you have to go with it or anything like that, you know? Just trying to see if you can make some of it work out, like, you know, some of these kind of like halfway through the month and all that kind of stuff. So not everybody's receiving it a month in advance, you know, try to keep it within 2 to 3 weeks. Obviously, some people are going to be about a week ahead of time. Some people are going to be 3 weeks ahead of time. So
how, September we solidified, or the 1st September we solidified, 2nd September, Kanema, Caulfield, Hazel Grove, Westling Farm. Does everyone feel comfortable with getting a postcard designed to me by September 5th, postcard going out in resident mailboxes by September 16th?
Yes.
October, Gaffney Lane, Elyville, McLaughlin, Park Place, Two Rivers, getting a postcard to me by October 6th to having a projected in mailboxes by October 14th.
That works for Park Place.
Hard to say.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that it's actually, we can try it.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I mean, because that's, in my opinion, that's way too far ahead, and we've done it before, and it failed pretty badly, so I would just, we'll have to think about that.
Okay, here's a question for you.
Yes.
Gaffney Lane meeting is September 16th.
Yes.
I have to get the information to you August 20th.
Yes.
So that's like about a month out.
Yeah.
So they're gonna get their postcards probably
The 29th,
The 29th.
3
about,
weeks.
about 2.5 weeks.
We'll give her a go.
And I know that there's a risk in all of this, right? There's a risk that because I know that all of you are based off of volunteers. Your secretary are volunteers. Not everybody is able to get together for steering committee meetings. Sometimes there's land use presentations that happen last minute that you need to be able to wait on sending out postcard information. But what this allows is that for me to be able to communicate out to neighborhood associations of, hey, if you want this bulk mailing price, I need this postcard by this time. And there's a chance that there's not that opportunity. But that's why we budgeted based off of the projected costs and not the potential savings. So any of the cost savings that the Citizen Involvement Committee experiences, that the neighborhood associations experience, that's a plus.
Exactly, and that's where we get our signage or, buying new posters, neighborhood map posters, or Rivercrest coming back online. People maybe need to have another meeting.
It remains our money, even if we save it. It doesn't go back to the city or anything?
No, you
Just
have
verifying.
you have a budget of $45,000. How you spend that money within the means.
Well, actually, we have a budget of $90,000.
Yes.
We could spend it all in the first year, but then
Well.
we're screwed up for the second year.
Yeah.
So with the bulk mail savings, does that mean that we can go ahead and get, signs
Yes.
for those guys?
Yes.
For some fancy whiskey.
Yeah, so far, we saved $1,000 already, right? And so we were budgeted within, like $300 or $400, right?
Right.
Of our overall money. So now we've got an extra $1,000 that we've saved already, right off the top.
Right.
The more savings we do, is the more we have to do.
How are those signs working out? Did you try them?
We did, pretty good. Most people come because of the postcards.
Okay.
Every time I ask, it's the postcards, but, it helps, I think.
I saw the sign out there when I briefly drove by.
Yeah.
Chris, were you able to make those signs work for you? Were you able to make those signs work for you with flyers or something?
We'll check it out.
Check it out, okay.
You haven't had a meeting since the last CIC.
We did have one.
But
Not since the
Hazel
last
Grove,
CIC.
Westlake Farm.
Chris has
Yeah.
It was the 11th, we haven't had one since June.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it seems that I have marching orders. The other thing that I will just very quickly emphasize is that your neighborhood association has your allocated budget that the CIC voted on, right? That's based off of the number of postcard mailings, but that does not mean that you have to use those funds specifically for that. If you need neighborhood association signs, if you need whatever it might be within the means of advertising your neighborhood association meetings, that is money to be spent by your neighborhood association. Just know that if you spend it and you're in need or want to be able to send out a postcard later on, you might not have the funds to be able to do so. But your neighborhood association, I know that there's conversations of what's the best way to go about advertising. Just because all the other neighborhood associations are doing postcards does not mean that that's how, the avenue in which your neighborhood association has to advertise. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
In fact, if I could make a suggestion, at some point, could we have a subcommittee on, social media and all that kind of stuff?
Would you like to head that up, Betty?
Sure.
Okay. Does anyone want to join Betty for a subcommittee?
And those guys that were there from, Hazel Grove will.
I will emphasize, can we call them working groups?
Working group.
Working groups, yes, yes.
Thank you. Because when we identify something as a subcommittee and there's a certain amount of people from this citizen involvement committee on that subcommittee, I have responsibilities to be able to publish
Working
agendas. Yeah, working group.
So we're gonna
Working
have
group.
a working group to talk about Facebook and how else to advertise. Okay?
Yeah, it'd be great. I'm sorry.
That's,
Yes, it'll be great.
that's why I said I'm signing you up.
Yeah, I mean, we can be able to explore that and Facebook, but we also need to be able to look at the bylaws that are suggesting that we have, every time we have a meeting, we need to send a mailing out.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
how does that translate for the 12?
You'll be changing your bylaws.
You'll be changing your bylaws.
What's that?
You'll be changing your bylaws.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, does everybody have that in their bylaws?
No,
No, they're all different.
I understand, well,
they're all different.
Everyone's
they're
bylaws
not
are
all different, they might be in this section, but they're not all different from everybody else all the way.
Correct. No,
Okay, I'm just,
I believe when they started CIC, they were given bylaws, and every neighborhood has tweaked theirs throughout time to make them work.
well, we're just starting out.
Okay.
So we haven't tweaked in the past tense, we are tweaking in.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Would anyone else like to join Betty and Chris and Mark on a subcommittee? Okay. Subcommittee of 3.
Linda, you said you were gonna be there?
I don't think I did. Thanks.
Oh.
Very good.
That was quick.
Okay, are we ready for National Night Out?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Okay. So we have our sign-up sheet. Everyone signed up very well for last time, and I appreciate everyone signing up. Please show up. This starts at 3:30, and someone was bringing a tent. Who was that? Josh was bringing the tent. 3:30.
Is it?
Yeah, starts at 3:30. Please be set up no later than 5. So that's your setup time to start. If you've got the tent, do we have a table?
I don't know if I signed up to be able to provide that. I will provide you a 6-foot table, yes.
Okay, and we have a tablecloth?
No.
I'll bring a tablecloth.
I have a black one.
Oh, then we'll use your black one. And McLaughlin is bringing candy?
Yep.
Okay, and I will pick up the sign, and I have dots.
I have an easel and extra large binder clips for you.
All right. Okay. And come early for your sign up and stay late. Just have a good time. Enjoy it, okay?
Should we not have, we have a banner that we can hang on our
Yes,
sign too?
I will, all of the materials that's listed, that the city is providing, I'm also working National Night Out. I will be there with all of your materials that are listed. I'm gonna bring 50 copies of the Neighborhood Association flyer with the map. That's within the agenda packet, so please, please, please review it and let me know if there's any updates that need to be made. The other flyer that's going to be included that was in the agenda packet is a way for individuals to be able to sign up for text alerts. So those are the 2 documents I would be happy to print out and provide that I've created for the Citizen Involvement Committee.
And would you also be picking up our map, or will I be picking that up from the little room?
I will probably not have time to pick up the Neighborhood Association map in the basement, but you know where it's located in that
Yes,
back corner.
yes, I do.
Okay. But I will bring everything else on this list.
And that's for them.
Just add it to your list, Anna. Do you want some help?
It's all in my office, so it's not, it's
I know, and I-
very easy. Very easy for me to do. Happy to do it.
Yeah. So our spot is, we are spot number 15, and we will be on Washington Street. So just walk around and find where we're at. Okay?
Yes.
There'll be lots of staff present to help put you in the right direction. And I believe Hazel Grove Wrestling Farm And Kanema is also hosting?
Kanema is also, and we're right next to the CICs, which is nice, so we can switch back and forth and help each other out.
So I'll look forward to seeing you all then.
Okay.
Okay.
So, roundtable. Sarah. I will start over there.
Nothing has happened since our last meeting. We meet tomorrow for a steering committee, and you're kind of up to date.
We kind of meet tomorrow.
Well, yes, Josh and I are going to have to sneak about 5 minutes out of the booth to go to our meeting tomorrow night over by the beer concession stand. It's a quick check-in.
Yeah, I might join you. Yeah, okay. Chris.
We have a table at Night Out tomorrow night, and we'll be there for Hazel Grove. And we're also right in the middle of trying to amend bylaws, set up committees, and start to get a little bit more organized with our stuff for our September meeting. And we're also converting some real estate signs that somebody wanted to be able to get rid of in her backyard, for which we are deeply grateful, because we are converting them to being able to have street signs for us. So it's really great stuff. But that's about it where we're at right now.
Did you have anything to add, Mark?
I'm just along for the
Okay,
ride.
okay.
I like it.
He's driving, but he's along for the ride.
Donna.
Thank you for asking.
We are looking at raising some funds since I thought that, we let go of one postcard and we thought that the door knockers were it's not gonna work. So now we gotta raise some money. So I'm working on something doing with Mayor McGriff in September, and when everything shakes out, I'm pretty excited about it. I saw a Facebook post of McLaughlin, and finally the dots connected. I knew that you had a snow cone machine, but I just never connected the dots. Now I know what you would do with it. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I'm looking for something that we can do. So we'll be joining you at events and we'll just have fun together. I want to ask a question of everybody. I have had this happen now twice, and I feel horrible about it. There was I don't know his title. His name is Josh something with the last name starts with an F, from the Oregon City Fire Department. He and the whole team have shown up at 2 of our meetings when I didn't invite them. And I feel horrible at asking them to leave, but I have a tight ship and I don't have time to add to the agenda because I got to get people out on time. So I've had to tell them, sorry, I didn't ask you. And I want to be able to communicate with him. I need his name, his title, and email. Can somebody tell me how to reach this man?
I have the contact information. His name is completely Doug.
Doug or Isaac?
Doug, yeah. I have Doug's.
Doug Whaley?
Yes, Doug Whiteley.
Yeah.
I have his contact information. He's the community engagement communications. I can get you in touch with him.
Has anybody ever had that happen?
No, because we invite them.
We invite them.
Yeah,
We have
we
the opposite
invite them to everything.
They have great knowledge for the neighborhood, things coming up and whatever happened in your neighborhood, the fire or whatever, they have all the details.
Well, we asked for a fire presentation, and then somebody named Carrie
Hampton?
starts with an S.
Yeah, she retired. She just retired.
Oh, it must be just because she came.
Yeah, this month. She retired.
Okay, yeah, so she came and we had our presentation. So anyway, thank you. I'll get
Just like you have a police officer liaison, Clackamas Fire also provides liaisons when they can. So there are a handful. It just sounds like that hasn't been communicated to you, so I'll get you in touch with Doug. Yeah, where they routinely show up every meeting to be able to provide those updates, the same kind of updates that your police officer liaison does.
They just show up and, if there's time, they'll talk. If there's not, there's not. But usually you can give them a minute or two and they'll talk real fast.
Yeah, we always try to put fire at the very start so they can skedaddle
Fire,
and get back to the station, so.
Because they may not
Please, they'll
always,
hang out.
they may be out on a call, so they may not be at your.
Thank you. This is the first I've heard of that, so thank you.
Bob, Park Place?
Well, we are again being invaded by Icon Construction. They are recommending, I think, 213 or 219 new residences in the Park Place area. They can't seem to get it, we can't seem to get it through their head that they would be welcome to develop if they would just do something about making that connection of Holly Lane between Holcomb Boulevard and Redland Road. That is the biggest stumbling block of the whole neighborhood, but as they build developments in the Park Place area, Holcomb Boulevard is the only way to get in and out of that area. And a few years during the fire emergencies that we had people that, my street is 3 miles up Holcomb from Redland Road. And we were talking with people that tried to get out of there during that emergency, and it took them 2.5 hours to make that trip. We didn't even bother. We figured, well, if we're dead, we're dead. You know, we lived a good life. But it's so aggravating that they can't seem to get it through their head what the Park Place neighborhood wants and needs.
So have they presented to you guys yet?
Pardon me?
Have they made their presentation?
No, it's on the next meeting. And I've got a whole big list of questions and stuff for them. Let's see, then what else? Oh, down there you'll find campaign signs that I told you I would bring this meeting. So if you want to have them reprinted on those, I had it done by Buell's Printing myself. And then also the wire frames for the holders for those signs. You can have them because I promise that I'm never running again.
The only thing that I will emphasize is that if you're using Bob's signs to reprint on the back, city funds won't be able to be used to do that because there's political signage on one half. That's the only thing I'll emphasize.
I wouldn't want them to leave the political signage on either side. They'd have to do the
over the top,
the new printing.
And that's, I don't know, I know that Buell's gives a discounted price to be able to print on the back side of things with a blank slate, but I don't know if they can reprint.
Yeah, it's just a sticker.
They made me stickers that I put on.
As long as there's no political advertisement visible, the city can pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that CIC has the money.
I would not want my name on those at all. I mean, on both sides.
You're done. You already said it, you're done.
Well, yeah, and they're cheap for zero, you know. Those signs are not cheap, nor are the wire frames, right, Betty?
You are correct.
So they're yours for the taking tonight. That's all I had, thank you.
McLaughlin, Tim, Denise?
Go ahead, Denise, you start.
We had a very eventful meeting on July 16th. We had Josh Wheeler from Oregon City Public Works and Adam Reese from PGE come tell us about a program that PGE is doing with electric car pole charging. So it's a charging station mounted on a utility pole. And they are doing a trial project in a residential area, and they picked ours. There's like four different stations in our neighborhood that they're gonna set up. After talking with them about it and asking questions, our consensus was, it seems like they're spending a lot of money for something that's not really gonna be a lot of help. Because it's gonna be in a residential area, a charging station for electric vehicles that's like 2 to 4 hour charging. And they're doing this to encourage people who don't have garages to buy EVs. Okay, I have an EV. If I didn't have a garage, I would not be encouraged to buy an EV so that I could go park my car in front of somebody else's house for 2 to 4 hours to charge it.
Or more.
Yeah.
Or more. So we were not impressed. The other thing Josh talked with us about was the sidewalk problems we're having. We've had several complaints from the same person. for several of our residents. The sidewalks,
actually.
he's not wrong. The sidewalks are in bad shape.
It's 6 of your best.
And some of them can be helped with funds from the city because the trees are causing problems. Some of them are not because of trees, it's because they're thin, because they're old. Sort of like our skin, you know. So, so that's a problem. Then we had the Homeless Solutions Coalition of Clackamas County told us what they're doing. It's exciting. They're going to be breaking ground on September 8th, and they plan to be finished by December of 2026 with their project. So that's pretty exciting. And then Father's Heart and Loved One also talked. They're going to be part of that coalition. And then we had Sparks Wellness is a new business on 5th and Monroe. And we're working with them to make a good neighbor agreement. What else? Oh, wait, there's more. This weekend, we've got Porch Fest on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there's 95 bands and or other kinds of entertainment.
I'm impressed.
Cool.
I'm
Yeah,
very impressed.
very impressive. And then we're also doing the yard sale. So the Neighborhood Association is taking on the organization of the McLaughlin Neighborhood Yard Sale this year. We have 47 people lined up. This is the first year that we've done it, so we're kind of starting small. So that's also Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then this Thursday, we're going to be selling snow cones at the concert in the park. And
I just wanted to tell you about the event we had with the Model A, Model T, and Cadillac Club. Yes, and it was the LaSalle Cadillac Club. It was hugely successful. We had 35 people and probably about 18 cars that came from Model Ts to all the way up to the Cadillacs. People really enjoyed it. We did about a 2-hour presentation at the Pioneer Center outside on the grass, and did a walking tour of the area, and then we did a driving tour of the area, and then we went to lunch up off of Central Point Road and had a wonderful lunch up there. It was very well accepted. Got a lot of really positive feedback and some nice thank you cards. So that worked out really well. And I was going to say also on the yard sale, this is for the McLaughlin neighborhood only. We've had questions. We are going to have an information booth on 6th and John Adams, right at the library. If somebody wants to have a neighbor or outside our boundaries and they want to have a garage sale, if you want to advertise it, bring some sheets down there. I'll be happy to pass them out for you. But we aren't going to put it on a map. It's only going to be for the neighborhood, and we won't be advertising. But we will certainly put it on if you want to bring it. We have people doing bake sales and things like that, so they're all bringing their stuff down. So that's all I have.
Dennis?
Just a reminder, on the 16th of August, that's Saturday, between 10 and 2, we have a preservationist coming in. I might have mentioned it last time. If not, I'm mentioning it again. She is quite well known, and she's done a lot of historic cemeteries in the proper use and care of like taking algae and moss off headstones, and also worked in the capacity to assist other people. She's going to be giving a demonstration for a couple hours, and we're quite delighted to have her. It will be at the cemetery. If you've not been to our cemetery, it's the old historic cemetery. It's about a half-a-mile walk from the children's park in Kanema. And if nothing else, it's a nice little hike. And for a couple hours, you might be learn how to do this on your own. I don't know if you in the past have done like rubbings on stones or anything like that, or if you care to manage or maintain any kind of like monument, it's better to do it in the proper fashion so that you don't use a bleach or something that would be, hazardous to the granite or whatever the material is that the headstone's on. So anyway, so welcome to all. Please come if you want, and just take part in it, and watch how it goes. Anybody got any questions about that? 10 to 2 on a Saturday, the 16th of August.
It's a delightful little area. Daphne Lane, Dwayne, Betty?
Do you want to start off? You want me to?
No, you should. That was our.
Okay. So we had, at our meeting, we had, Josh Wheeler talking about the, sidewalk issue with the trees. Come to our meeting, and that was very good. They had some really good questions. One that I really liked was, is this not a city property problem? And they said no. So, the street cleanup that was done June 21st was a big hit, very successful. And
rainy.
And rainy. And then we're gonna do it again in October, and, that was it.
Scott?
Thank you. Just as far as updates, some recent things that we've been working on. Most recently, looking back, we looked at adopting a city ordinance regarding burning, so we didn't have one. So kind of falling in line with DEQ and Clackamas Fire in terms of what that looks like for the city. Recently looked at redesignating our enterprise zone within the city, so we review that every 10 years. And there's certain eligibility to maintain that, so it has to do with income level and unemployment level and a few other things, but it gives some tax exemptions for businesses that are moving in. So like Advantis, right? They use that. So we kind of redrew that boundary for eligibility. And then you brought up the sidewalk thing. Our most recent work session was pretty focused on the sidewalks and what to do about that. I don't have a future date on when we're going to continue that discussion, but it is not over.
Probably tomorrow night.
Well,
or Wednesday night.
I was going to say, I don't see it on the agenda.
Well, it might be, but other people are going to be there.
Well, yes, officially.
Officially, right?
Officially, when it's on the on the agenda, I don't have that.
Is there any, Donna, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question of you, Commissioner Wilson, if I can. 2 weekends ago, I participated with Keep Oregon City Beautiful, and we went down 213 and picked up trash. And I know that I was able to get 4 bags. 2 of my bags, the homeless got a hold of, and they're just conveniently just splayed out open. And so I'm wondering, who can we talk to, or can we have better coordination? Because this was through ODOT. Okay. And we did this on a Saturday because that's when people are off work and can do it. They don't come until Monday to pick it up. Is there a way that we could get better coordination of getting them out there like same day so that this doesn't happen again, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, for like when you're bagging up the trash, leaving it there to get picked up? Like,
yeah, because the instructions to us were leave it on the side of the road, and then Monday we'll come and pick it up. Well, that gives the people, whoever,
time to go through and see.
And so it's very frustrating to see what you just did. You just spent, 3 hours doing, and there it is again.
Yeah.
Just wondering if we can.
That is a fantastic question. I'm sure there is. I do not know the best contact for that. Hannah, do you know?
I don't know a good contact, but I can tell you that B&B Leasing, which is the garbage company for the city of Oregon City, they work with a handful of organizations for trash pickups. I don't know what a weekend schedule would be like, but I would reach out to them to see if there could be a quicker turnaround, or even if they were able to drop off cans for you to be able to utilize and lock up to deter people from being able to dive into. So B&B Leasing I would reach out to, but if you already have a partner with Metro or ODOT, I don't have a direct answer for that, but.
Who was the organizer of it?
Tim something starts with a C. He's a real estate guy.
So that's who you should start with.
Very good
Because he
idea.
probably has the connection to ODOT.
Yeah, thank you.
And ODOT will pick up the garbage for ODOT to pay.
Anything else that anyone wanted to say? September 1st is Labor Day weekend. We will not be meeting. We will be October 6th for our next CIC meeting. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.